Hello there, racing fans, and welcome back to the channel. Proudly sponsored by betting.co.uk. So we're back. Of course, we've got Cheltenham Trials Day this weekend. We're not too far away now from the Dublin Racing Festival. And then, of course, we've got the Cheltenham Festival, but we've still got a really good eight race card for this weekend to get stuck into. We don't really know what's going to turn up, what isn't yet, but we're just going to have a quick scan through, try not to keep it for too long, give you some selections, and then at the end of the video, we'll bring you our best bet and another anti-post selection as well. Before we go on to, obviously, the racing, let's check in with the lads. And we've got Kieran back with us for this episode. How you doing, Kieran? Glad to be back?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Glad to be back. Cheers, man.
Yeah, good.
Ready for Cheltenham?
Absolutely. Of course, Cheltenham, Kieran's another local boy here as well, so he gets to see all the action firsthand too. We're very fortunate, of course, to be in this part of the world. Jamie, over in Ireland, how are you doing?
Great, Joe, and you're right. Long time no see since you deserted us for the finishing line, so thank God we're back.
Yeah.
And thank you for having us since you forgot about us for how many weeks now?
Don't be
Yeah.
like that. Don't be
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Took
So,
us 2 minutes to get that in, didn't it?
We're
yeah,
still
you deserted us, Kieran.
we're still friends,
Yeah,
like we're
big
still
time,
friends.
mate.
You're still my number one. You're still my number one.
Oh, here we go. Backtrack time.
Backtrack and talk, yeah.
Scotty,
Oh,
what about?
good, Jim. Ready for Trials Day. Yeah, you know, the old small meeting before the big meeting in Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, we've got how many days is it then till we all go over to Dublin? 7, 8, 9, 10 days. Like absolutely buzzing. And we're going to be joined by the bad boy of bowls, aren't we, as well? How you doing, Scotty?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to coming to Hotel Ginge. I've heard it's quite a nice stay. Kebabs are supposed to be good, but I've been told to avoid Greg's, the bakery. I don't know why, but yeah, all good.
Yeah, we'll share that story for another time, shall we? We'll mention that, shall we, Jane?
No,
Right,
don't.
okay then, lads. Let's get straight on with the action. We've got some pretty decent races to get stuck into. The first race is probably the one I'm most excited about, really competitive, and it's probably going to shape the Triumph market a little bit more. That's the 12:05. It's the JCB Triumph Hurdle Trial. It's a grade 2 over 2 miles. Currently in the betting, we've got Burdett Road at 7-4, Sergino at 2s, Salver at 5s, Interlotto at 6s. Wadu, I don't think is going to run here. Cossack at 10s, Liari at 14-1. And this is a proper race, this one. Jane was here over here when we saw Burdett Road win back in November even. Really impressive that day. Of course, he's a Royal Ascot winner, but he's not going to be winning at Cheltenham in March if he jumps like he did on the first day, in my opinion, that's for sure. Scotty, what do you think of Burdett Road? Is he sort of your idea of the winner of this? And furthermore, do you fancy him at the Triumph, or do you like something else here?
I'm pretty up in the air with just the market at the moment, to be honest. I mean, Burdett Road 7-4, and so Sergino. I've still got reservations whether Sergino will get declared on Thursday. Potentially think he could be safe for the Adonis at Kempton. Of course, that he won at over Christmas. So yeah, I'd be tempted to get into Burdett Road now if you're going to do it, because if he is an on-runner, he got 7-4 anti-post, you probably go off a probably 8-13 shot closer to the day, maybe a bit shorter. In regards to the race itself, if they both lined up, I would prefer Sergino on the fact that I think his jumping was slightly better on the first day compared to Burdett Road's second appearance at Cheltenham. Burdett Road is without a doubt a great traveller, and you can't take away from the comments Harry Cobden made after the race at Cheltenham in November. But I would definitely be on the Sergino camp if they both lined up, just from that aspect. I think Burdett Road, he's definitely got, obviously, Royal Ascot, he's a speed horse, but I think for the Triumph Hurdle in particular, if he lined up there, I think he'd be found out. I think his jumping would let him down. But in the race itself, I was impressed with Salver up at Chepstow. I know the ground was very desperate that day, and Burdett Road was due to run, and he got pulled on the morning. Oh, sorry, it wasn't even the morning. It was about half an hour before the race, wasn't it? So I think Salver's form is equally as good as Burdett Road. I mean, he's been beating horses with the form ties in with, and Brad and Fasser, I think it is, that Burdett Road beat. And that horse beat, I think it was Balboa, and he beat him a lot more comfortably than Burdett Road form has worked out. So, I mean, he's won on soft ground Burdett Road at the Cheltenham meeting in November. So I wouldn't be too put off that he won't handle a softer surface, but I think they're just minding him. And I would take a chance on Salver at prices. I think he's 11-2. If I was going to have a bet now, I'd say if people want to get stuck into Burdett Road, I'd do it now before declarations in case the price collapses. But for me, I'd be backing Salva as an each way bet to nothing now at 11-2. I think he's way overpriced.
I'd be devastated if Sergino doesn't go. Do you reckon he'll go to Kempton instead then, do you?
Definitely. I think he'll go to Kempton and run the Adonis.
That'll really change the shape of this race for me personally, because I really like Sergino. Obviously, it might frank that Salvatore Monday form, and I've taken a bit of a swipe at him for the Triumph this year as well. What do you think, Kieran?
I'm actually in the Burdett Road camp. I backed him earlier on this afternoon because obviously the whole Sergino may go to the Adonis. That was my angle. I've followed the Scotties, what Scotty's going for. But even though he didn't jump a twig in the race on November, the engine's there. If he can jump like 50% better, the engine's gonna get the way that Cobden had to leave him so far behind the rest as well and to come through like that. I know it might have been trees he was beating, they weren't like that. But still, he's got an engine, he's impressive. I think he's going to improve. James Owen thinks the world of him because I believe he entered him in the international as well.
He has, yeah, he has.
Possibly not going to go there, but you get all the allowances, the 4-year-olds and all that allowances. But I think that's how highly he rates him. So I think he's going to take another step forward on Saturday, hopefully, if he is entered. If he isn't, and he does withdraw him because of the ground, I think whatever Joseph brings over, he won it last year with Comfort Zone. I think whatever he brings, obviously he's got one that won over Christmas. I can't remember the name of it, although I think that's good to the DR. Is it Intello or something like that? Like across those lines.
No, that's this one. Interlotto he's got for this race.
Interlotto, yeah, that's the one he's got for this race. I'm not sure whether he's going to skip this and go to the DRF. I'm not 100% sure. But if Burdett Road wasn't to run, anything that Joseph brings would probably be what I'd back instead of.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, devastated though now. I can't believe I thought Gino and Interlotto were just going to turn up here and run, but I'll be really disappointed if one, especially if both don't turn up. But fair enough, Kieran. Burdett Road for you. Again, that sort of matches what Scotty said about backing him early before obviously he's declared we know he's going to turn up here pretty much sure. So yeah, okay. And Jamie, what do you think, buddy?
I agree with you, Joe. I see the Boyne Village jacked up, but look, sometimes that doesn't mean nothing, to be honest with you. I agree with Scotty there about, yeah, if you want to back Burdett Road now, back him just in case Sergino goes to the Adonis. But if it was a match between the two of them and they both turn up on Saturday, which I don't think will happen, to be honest with you, because Nicky Henderson will probably bottle it, won't he? But if they both rank it, I would be with Sergino. Yeah, there just seems to be more. To turn the foot from the second last to the last at Kempton blew me away, to be honest with you. But he jumps like that he's still in France, really. He jumps like he's still jumping over toy fences. And of course, what you said with the form and the way he went away in toy from Salvatore Monday. Now, according to Ruby Walsh, we're going to see and Zidane, Salvatore Monday, and Majber running the grade one first time out. So it's going to be very interesting. The Triumph hurdle market is going to change the next 10 days, really. Hope everyone's on plenty of different horses because you don't know who's the best yet. But Burdett Road did impress me. But remember now he's switching tracks here to the new track. Will he get up the hill as well as he did on the old track? Then he did on the new track, and it's a furlong further. But I wouldn't give up on that horse that ran. No, he disappointed me that day. We were standing in the stands the day at Burdett Road. Is that Milantino? Like he's great form in France, and like the horse that beat him in a grade 2 has gone on to win a grade 1, jigged me. And there was talk about he was going to come over here for a triumph, but he hasn't. But Milantino to me is really probably a Boodle's horse at the end of the day. But he's one to keep an eye on it because like it was his first one in Britain. He's getting used to it. So look, he's one to. But is he win betting this? No, not really. I don't like the Joseph O'Brien horse because the form at the moment is not stacking up. I'm like the favourite that day to get a diamond 6-4 bombed out. The third Mordor has done nothing. And Dowie was fifth. He was third to Willie Mullins' horse last day. And Lark in the morning was third behind this one that Ruby Walsh has put up at 40-1 high wind to win the Triumph, which I can't have either because he's all over the place. But I agree with Scotty. Having a bet now, I would back Burdett Roads in case Sergino turns up. But if Sergino turns up, I'll back Sergino.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I echo what you said there, James. I'm the same. I think if Sergino turns up here, I'd hope he's just a little bit classier. I know visually everything we've seen from Burdett Road looks nice, and he's got a really quick speed figure as well of 128. However, that is rapid, but that could be possibly picked apart a little bit due or exaggerated as such because the race was run at such a like sort of a fast pace last time out, and then he was just able to hit them off at the straight. So yeah, bit of a messy race. I hope they all turn up anyway, but Sergino for me, if he ends up lining up in this race. Okay, so we move on to the 12:40. We've got the time form novices chase here over 2 mile, 4.5 furlongs. We've got Ginny's Destiny as your joint 4-1 favourite here with Blow Your Wad. Persian time at 7-1. He was actually really good at Ascot. Es Perfecto, not totally sure this one's going to turn up, and pretty much 10-1 bar those. Ginny's Destiny, he's another horse. He just really jumps for fun. He handles Cheltenham particularly well at the same time, and because he jumps so well from the front, he tends to be quite hard to catch. He's probably the right favourite, but when he won in November, he won off 133, and this time he's going to be running off 147. So he's got a £14 hike this time, lads, but he did beat Grey Dawning last time out at the same time. So, I mean, Kieran, any thoughts on this race? He's probably the right favourite, isn't he? But he's carrying a fair bit of weight.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Sorry, cats decided to get involved. Yeah, Ginny's Destiny is what I came down on. Looking at it, obviously he's got all the Cheltenham form in the book, and the yard obviously won it last year with my boy Stage Star in this same race. I think this Ginny's Destiny. I don't think he's quite the Turner's horse that Stage Star was.
He's good though, isn't he? He's good.
But he's good. But yeah, from the front, Cobden pinging away as he does. I don't think there's any better around on a chase. So I don't think Cobden when he gets into a rhythm. But yeah, I think Ginny's Destiny. I think just the Cheltenham form is where I would look at. Obviously, Grey Dawning in behind. He's gone and won since afterwards as well. Could be, but yeah, that's where I would look. Because like you said, there's not many that you know he's going to turn up. Cobden's already booked up. You know he's going to turn up. There's question marks, especially over the Henderson horse. Like you said, he was impressive when he won that Excedo. He was very impressive. I
Yeah.
like that. But he might not turn up. Persian time was all right at Ascot, but then again, he's going to go the other way around. And Cheltenham's completely different to Ascot.
Yeah. He's like learning on the job, that one, isn't he? Like he got better as the race went on, but he's very babyish, isn't he? Like,
yeah, I think he's going to be handicaps more. I think down the line, I think more racing, the better he's going to get. But yeah, Gino's Destiny is where I would stand on this right now.
Perfect. Yeah, that's all good. Ginny's Destiny for Kieran and James. Who do you fancy here?
I'm with Kieran here. Yeah, I think it's Stage Star 2.0. I think Ginny's Destiny will go out in front. The form is there with Grey Dawning. I know he's got a £14, but I think he's just improving all the time, Joe, and I think he'll just go out in front and catch me as he can. I think you'll see a good performance. I think he's running here off top weight because like Stage Star, then he'll run in the Turners. There's no race after that if he doesn't run it. If he wins here, he's definitely going to the Turners. If he loses, he's going to the plate. You know what I mean? But I think they think he's improved enough, like Stage Star did last year, improved to be into consider as is he a grade 1 horse? We'll find out at the festival. If he runs in the Turners, he's probably a bit shy. But look, this is the road in to the Turners for him if he wants to win. I suppose obviously the most interesting one here is what Stan Skelton doing an unexpected party. I mean, like he's £5 lower now for like 3 runs later. He ran out in the Paddy Power Gold Cup off 142. He finished 5 lengths behind Little Risotto and a length behind Fugitive, and they've gone on the December Gold Cup. He won off 142 at Chepstow. Now he's a pound lower, and he's won already this season. I tell you, Stan Skelton's definitely the backhanders is a British handicapper there, like, but that's ridiculous. How can you be dropped that? Like, I know it's only £5, but will it make a difference? Like, he's what, 12-1? That's massive. But is he waiting for another day? Do you know what I mean? I think he might be waiting for another day for the play. But look, it's up to you. He might take a stab in the dark. He might be going for the grade 3 pot off 141, 12-1 each way. But I'm with Kieran here. I think Ginny's Destiny will win.
This is the thing with scouting, isn't it? You know he's got a long-term plan. You just got to wait for the right time to back him.
Well, the way to look at it, Joe, is this race on Saturday worth more than the plate? Then you'll know. Do you know what I mean? If the plate's less, are they going to wait for the plate? Is the plate more? Are they going to wait for it? Do you know what I mean? It's a catch-22.
Yeah, this
No,
one's
is he just the horse is a bit soft and he needs a little bit of a small field and needs to be in front far too out. But I mean, like the talent is there, but I don't know what they're doing with him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, when he wins, he won't have any of my money anyway. I just can't get myself to back this sort of horse, to be honest with you. But he's gonna get it sometime, isn't he? At a big sort
Of
of
course, he's
big pot.
going to win one day with no one backs him yet.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Scotty, do you echo what the boys think? Good jumping from Ginny out in front, takes the race. Is that the angle you're sort of looking at here?
I wasn't very strong on the race until I heard the thoughts of the lads, and it kind of backed up what I was hoping other people would think. I mean, obviously my own opinions, but Ginny's Destiny, I think, is the most likely winner. It's just the top weight that worries me, obviously. Don't think he's as good as Stage Star, but time will tell. You have to be a really good horse to win this kind of race off top weight and become a graded animal. But Paul Nicholls likes the Turners as a race. He always sends one or two to it every year, regardless. So I think this could be the plan, like the lads have said. He sent, I think, the likes of Azad May, Politologue in years gone by. Irish Saint and Petit Zig ran together in the year that Votor won. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Ginny's go out in front, make all, and try and catch them. Try and play the catch me if you can tactics. And if he puts in a good performance off top weight, he's right in the mix for a Turners kind of run, isn't he? He's going to be probably go off about 10 to 1 for the Turners if he bolts up in this. But I'm with the Persian time angle. I like it, actually. I think he's 7 to 1. He's the only thing with him is he gets held up most of the time when he runs. I'd like to see him ridden a bit more prominently. Whether they have to ride him that way, I don't know. And it'd be interesting to see who rides. I don't know who's ridden him in the previous races, but I know Nico is probably favourite to ride. But I'd like to see James Bowen take the ride on him, actually. I think it'd be his kind of horse, bit of patience and not have the flappy hands everywhere and panic when he gets to a fence and just have that confidence. And I think Kieran said he's probably better going right-handed. I think that's what Kieran said, but his Newbury second to Jello back at the meeting in December, I think it wasn't all that bad. He made a terrible mistake towards the latter end of the race. And I think if he puts his jumping into good effect in this race, he's definitely got a chance. So I wouldn't be scared with backing Persian time against Ginny's Destiny each way. The form in that race for Mascot, with Hon Public finishing behind him, ties in well with the JPR1 form and the Petit Tonnerre form. JPR1's obviously gone out and beaten Matata since, who ran an okay race at the last meeting at Cheltenham. I think the ground was against him that day. So I think Persian Time is a cracking each way bet in this, but I would like to see Ginny's Destiny go out and stamp his authority on the Turners division. I think he's definitely got the potential, and I think it's between the two of them.
Yeah, could be a really good race, this one. A little bit of value there as well. The bookies are probably wise putting up Ginny at 4 to 1, so you can't get a full money back with the each way places there as well. He is going to have everything go right for him again, which obviously could happen, but there are 2 each way players that I like here. One's Tighten Your Belts at 12 to 1 for Emma Lavelle. Still quite an unexposed chaser who won at Ludlow on his first start and then finished just 10 lengths behind Hermes Alen. In the Cato start before in the Great at Newbury, before getting beat in the Cato start by Ile Francais, etc., by quite some distance. But he was really good at Newbury when he was beaten by Hermes Alen by 10 lengths. He was actually ahead of horses like Marble Sands and was close up there to Nickelback, which I think is a really bit of decent form. And off a mark of 138, he would actually have a good chance of running a big race at a double figure price. But I also like Adalco Bue here for the local lads, the Twiston Davis team. Won on the old course here back in October, ran to 135 that day. Comes back into this race off a mark of 134. And Twister just goes really well. I wouldn't be surprised if this is again the place that Adalco can get another win on his CD. So I'd probably side with Adalco Bue each way at 12 to 1. But I echo what the lad said again there. Ginny's Destiny, it'd be great to see him being able to back up that form. Okay, so on to the 115. We've got the Pally Power Handicap Chase, not the big one, of course, in November. This one, again, is 2 mile 4 and a lot of familiar faces. We've got Iridoto at 5 to 1, Fugitive at 11 to 2, Excello at 13 to 2, Victorino at 9s, Hitman at 10s, and 11 to 1 bar those. Some very a couple of usual runners at the front here. Of course, got that form from the December Gold Cup. Jamie, have you got a main fancy in this race? I find this quite hard to figure out myself.
I suppose for the race, Joe, like this is what I suppose it's a small bit of a dig at Cheltenham. Like this is the 4th kind of race in the space of what, a couple of months. It's the same race.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. That's just my crib about it. It's the same horses all the time, all the time.
Mm.
Edward Jota did win this race last year, but it's £5 higher than the last day, and not for me. Fugitive was up to 157. It's a career high mark. I can't see it winning off 157. I scroll down a bit, and two of the horses I like, and one like I see Victorino and Venetia and Easy as That are both chalked up with Charlie Deutsch, but I think Victorino, when they saw the mark of 146 now, they're probably saying we'll wait, and it's more of a 3 mile. They'll probably wait for the Ultima. Easy as That is very interesting. It was £4 higher since one at Newcastle, but Newcastle was up 133 that day, and he won by 10 lengths. And we were there, obviously. He was standing on the Guinness stand that day, and he never got into the race in the Paddy Power, and he was out the back, and that's not really like a Venetia horse, to be honest with you. They're always up in the bandwagon, you know yourself. But it all depends how Unexpected Party goes in the previous race, and then because he only finished 4 lengths behind Unexpected Party in the Paddy Power. So I'll probably back it if I see Unexpected Party go well. That's just me. I'll probably wait and see, obviously, the declaration on Thursday. I suppose the other one that interests me is another skeleton horse, and it's Fair Darm. I backed it at Musselburgh that day. I couldn't see it beating in the 2.5 mile. But if you look back, that kind of month there, 4 weeks, Christmas, and a bit afterwards, in between, the skeletons went off the boil, and they didn't run to form anyway above Musselburgh when he sent the load up that day. And the only crib I have with Fair Darm is that look, he's 134. He's never won over 2.5. Is he just a 2 miler? So are they just running here and getting the magic handicap, or scrubbing another few pounds off for the Grand Annual? Now, clutching at straws to get in off 134 in the Grand Annual, might get in at the bottom, so they're taking a chance maybe. So like, he's 10 to 1. You could take a chance on him because the skeletons are obviously in better form. And yeah, maybe they're the two against the field at the moment that caught my eye, to be honest with you. Easy as That if Unexpected Party goes as well in the race before. And I take a stab with Fair Darm because the skeletons are coming back to the boil, and maybe this is his day.
Yeah, it looks like full steam ahead with their plans, doesn't it, at the moment, sort of for all their runners, doesn't it? I'm with you, similar angle, but I like Victorino rather than Easy as That. But again, I totally understand the point of the for the Ultima with him as well, because he does definitely look a sort. If Sergino turns up here, I am going to do a little bit of a mugs double with Victorino because they're actually half brothers. But of course, he's done his winning so far at Ascot. Cheltenham's very different, but like you mentioned there, Jamie, with Easy as That, he was ridden quite far back. Not common, like I said, the Venetia runners, especially with Deutsche on. So if you can get Deutsche here at 9 to 1, I think Victorino is a good each way bet. But like Jamie said, you might want to just back this one on the day, being cautious that they may skip this event at the same time. Scotty, who do you fancy here?
It's so weird. I think Jaime Wrenn is either in my house looking at my notes every time we do previews, or he's got access to my phone, because he said 3 things already in this preview that I was going to mention. The first one was Unexpected Party being in the race before, being plotted up. Is he going to win? The second thing he said was, this race is just like the Paddy Power Gold Cup, the December Gold Cup, the race in whatever they're all the same race all the time, the same horses. And I was going to say that, and he said that. And he's just said as well, which is unbelievable, something about a race with a certain mark you have to have or be above to get in, which I'm going to mention later in the show, and it will make sense. So, Jamie, stop reading my notes. But yeah, if you're going to do a place pot, just stick Il Ridotto in. That's a banker. He will be in the frame. I think he's 7 out of his last 9 runs have been at Cheltenham. He's been in the frame, I think, pretty much every time. So I wouldn't be scared of backing him. Each way, price is probably gone. Fugitive's an interesting horse, obviously Cheltenham expert, but he's got an entry in the Clarence House. Whether they're going to run him over 2 miles against John Bon just to give him a big stretch at a top-class true run race before he goes to the Ryanair, because I believe that's where he's going to go. Carl Hinchy said the Ryanair is the target. So I believe that's where he's going. But the horse I'm going to back, and I actually think he's been saved for this race. Whether he's had an issue after it, I'm not too sure, but I do believe he's been saved, and he's running off a mark. He's gone up 18 pounds and won his last 3. And he's a 9-year-old, and that's Jetoile for Ryan Potter, and I think Daryl Jacobs on board. He won the Old Road, really forgot the name. The Old Road up at Aintree. I know they emitted quite a bit of fences, but even though just on the flat there, I mean, the new course is a long running, and I think they only jump a couple in the last few furlongs. I think that long running will really suit him, and I think coming off a strong pace, he'll be very adapt to that. So I think Jetoile at 12 to 1 is a good price. I think Hitman, who he beat in that Old Roan's a couple of points shorter. I couldn't have him on my mind carrying too much weight. Doesn't seem to like Cheltenham. I know he ran okay in the Ryanair, but it was a weak race last year, in my opinion. And I'd give a massive shout out to Victorino as well. I think this time of year, I definitely think Charlie Deutsch will take the ride on Victorino. He's definitely not without a chance. But that would be my main fancy. Would be Jetoile, and I think 12 to 1 is a cracking price each way.
Yeah, nice shout there, Scotty. Interesting there for sure. And Kieran, finish us off with the winner there.
Well, as the boys said, this race has been running November, December, and January, and now January. So same race, same horses. And Scotty did say put El Rodotto in as the bank for the place spot, and I'm gonna actually think he's gonna be the winner. I think he won the race last year. He now gets a twist with the weights with Fugitive from that neck or short head or whatever it was. By the way, Brian, he gave that a hell of a ride in December. I thought she was going to get up. My kind of stung because my money was on there, and then Mr. Gavin Sheehan comes along and mugs her on the line. But there we go. Won't talk out my pocket. But yeah, Il Rodotto to go back to back in this race. I think you have to give £3 to Fugitive. He now gets 9, I believe it is, from that last race. So big swing, and horses for courses. He'll be there. Come jump in the last. Whether he gets one better handicap than come past him, we'll see. But he'll carry my money again on Saturday.
You know he's solid, don't you, with Il Rodotto as well?
Yeah.
Like you sort of mentioned, he loves the course as well, so may not be too far away, I guess. Interesting to see who lines up. I think that would be really
harsh. Also, coming back to it, it's harsh on Bryony that I know Cobden's the stable jock, but she gave it a hell of a spin in the last time out, and now she gets chopped off.
It is
carried back on board.
Yeah, I give you that, Kieran. That's a fair point. It's just one of those things that's just unfortunate, isn't it, with not being the stable jock, I guess. But yeah, shout out to Bryony for the ride there, even though Kieran obviously had his fingers burnt a little bit anyway. Okay, we will move on to the Cotswold Chase. The 150 grade 2 over 3 mile 1 furlongs. Royal Pagaille is our 11-4 favourite after beating Brave Man's Game at Haydock. We've got the Real Whacker 7-2 after finishing 4th in the King George. You've got Stay Away Faye coming up against the horses in Open Company. Ahoy Senor at 5-1. That's All Right Gino at 5s. And Capodanno at 10s. Interesting race this one, lads. Kieran, we'll stick with you. What do you think of it?
Wow. I can't believe you just told me the price of my horse that I'm going to put up here, but I am actually going to put up the outsider, which is Capodanno, if Bullins brings him over. Like, his last run was behind Galloping, not quite sure. I know he was in a different Galloping was a different parish to him in the last one at Leopardstown, but you could pick holes in the rest of them. A Hoist and your jumping is not good enough. Royal Pagaille is a Haydock specialist. He's Bristol Dubai 2.0, isn't he? Let's be honest with ourselves. Stay Away Faye's interesting, but a novice in this, all right, it's probably a weak enough race to bring a novice into it. And the Real Whacker, that Brown advisory form is pretty much average, we can say, from last year now. And I think he needs to lead, and I don't think he's going to get the lead because I think Hoist and yours going to be up there with him. So, yeah, I came down on Capodanno to pick the pieces up, and all the rest of them are cried enough.
They've got to just let Hoysnor get on with it, haven't they? Just let him sort of just do his own thing rather than sort of holding the reins on him and being too tight. I think they've just got to let him be exuberant and then just hope he puts in.
Yeah, he always does.
Do you reckon he'll end up in somewhere like the Stayers hurdle after if he bombs out here, Kieran?
I thought he was about to end up in the Guinness Village for a second then, where he jumped out to his right. But
well, he might, yeah, he certainly might do, mightn't he? All right, Jane, what about you?
Oh, it's a tough race, Joe.
It is.
Race. Very tough race. I'm like, you could run this race 5 or 6 times if you get 6 different winners. You know what I mean? I wouldn't disagree with Kieran here about Capodanno if he comes over. He's definitely the flying Yeutman the whole race, and the way he was third, staying on in the Savage Chase. But as I said, in the repairs to Gallopin and Jerry Galam. But look, he finished third to 2 top-rated Irish horses. You know what I mean? Royal Pagaille, I agree. I think it's not going to be soft enough for him. I think the ground's going to be good enough, isn't it? It won't be soft enough for him, and he's never won at Cheltenham, so he wouldn't be for me. Real Whacker, to me, it doesn't look like the Real Whacker is gone into open company and hasn't trained on, kind of a thing. If there is such a thing as training on into open company at his age of 8. But look, he doesn't do for me. Stay away Faye, obviously, if it's up close up, he'll be probably a red hot favourite then for the Browns, regardless of who was over in Ireland. Very interesting. Not out of this company. Like really, he definitely has the chance, but I wouldn't be backing him. Ahoy Senor, I think exactly. I kind of agree with you. I think if Ahoy Senor is just left off and let go, and he'd be better on better ground, and this is his chance to come back. Would I trust him? No, but could this be his day on better ground? Maybe. But I'm going to go for a horse that won the Hennessy, because I think the race is going to suit him down absolute ground. They go really quick, a High Senior and a Whacker, and they take each other on, which I hope it's going to happen when they go too fast. I think Kevin Sheehan's going to pick up the piece like he did in the Hennessy. I know he's up 11 pounds, but I think he just has a better turn of foot than all of them. And I think, what's it, 5-1?
5-1, yeah.
Yeah. My head, as I say, my head says, sorry, my heart says a High Senior, this is his day. Better ground, go out in front. If he jumps well and he jumps better off the better ground, he'll win. But my head is saying that because they're going to go so fast, and I hope they go fast, one with the better turn of foot, and he prefers the faster they go, the better. I think that's all right, and it's his time to shine and on into the Gold Cup, and he might have an each race quick.
He's the horse that's still running good races at the moment, isn't he, as well? I can't see Stay Away Faye being good enough in open company at this level just yet, but he will be probably next year. But if you're putting up Gino, then that's possibly 3 It's Gino geldings that could end up winning on Trials Day. It's Gino, Victorino, and That's All Right Gino. Like
last year, I backed him last year, Joe, in the race Stage Star one. I thought he was coming to beat Stage Star. But I think he's just a better horse and he just needed 3 miles.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so he did whatever. I know his mark was only 148 in the Hennessy, but he just really impressed me. And I just hoping for pace. But if there's no pace, he's no chance. That's the other side.
I love that. That's the tricks of your dreams, that is, I tell you. I actually spoke to Snowden at the beginning of this year, and he said the thing with Gino is he needs good to soft ground, which he gets this weekend. So no doubt he's going to be fully geared up for that one. To be honest, he'd probably do for me here as well, with the question marks over Royal Pagay. I don't particularly think that he likes Cheltenham too much. He's beaten 20 plus lengths every time he's been at the Gold Cup, which isn't a disgrace, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he functions as well around sort of Cheltenham perhaps. So I'd probably side with Gino too, with James. Ahoy Senor is definitely a bit of a worry pulling up on his last 2 starts perhaps, but could still have redemption not far away from the Cheltenham, and then obviously people start putting him up each way again for the Gold Cup as they tend to. Kieran, what do you think of the Cotswold Chase? Who's your winner?
Well, he told you, mate. Go to Scotty.
Scotty, no.
And I was even looking at Scotty. I must have been thinking about you, Kieran. Sorry.
Sorry, it made me laugh. Yeah, I'm with Jamie and yourself. I'm all over That's All Right, Gino. Exactly everything Jamie just said there and yourself. The ground will be perfect for him. I think the fast pace will suit. And like Jamie said, I hope Ahoy Senor stays in the race and doesn't tip up, because it will change the dynamics of the race. Stay Away Faye made his own running at Sandown. I'm still not convinced Giovinco's quite a stayer. I think Stay Away Faye just done in that day in the heavy ground at Sandown for just his pure staying ability. And Royal Pagay, not a Cheltenham horse for me. The Real Whacker, Kieran said that the form of the RSA is garbage. Capodanno is an interesting one, but I can't work out what they're doing with him. He's been down the Grand National route. He's obviously had his setbacks. He runs in the Grade 1s. This is probably about his level, a very good Grade 2 horse. I don't know, Capodanno. I think there's a big race in him, but I don't think it's on this day, on Saturday. I would definitely be with That's All Right, Gino. Exactly what you said. Be held up. He jumps pretty solid. He's an improving horse. He's 8 years old. All the other ones are regressing. I think Ahoy Senor's regressing quickly. The Real Whacker's regressed this year, in my opinion. So it would have to be That's All Right, Gino. Stay Away Faye, I'm with you. I've just got my doubts whether he'll be good enough in open company. And I think in the RSA Brown Advisory, he'll be found out. I think the Irish will be too good for him. But That's All Right, Gino, I think is a good bet. I think 9-2, and exactly what you said already. He's probably the smart play in a race, in my opinion. 9-2 is a good price.
Yeah, nice one, Scotty. Pretty strong cases. 3 for Gino and 1 for Capodanno. Oh, Senor just jumps like a pig, doesn't he? He's not going to be able to win this sort of race,
And if anyone says he's going to be in the stairs hurdle when he's got a chance, just don't talk to me. I don't want to hear you. I just don't want to hear it.
Pretty sure I've said that at some point. All right, let's move on to the Clarence House, and this one definitely won't take long. The 225 Grade 1, 2 miles, John Bon 1 to 3, Editor Degit 13 to 2, and any price you like for the remainder here. He obviously is going to take some beating here, but I don't know about you guys. Even though he's only been beaten by Al Fabiolo and Constitution Hill so far, when he's been running twice at Sandown, every time I do wonder how much he is going to find, and there is a slight niggle that he's sort of going to get caught, even though he's the best horse in the race. I don't know if that's just me or not, but I've got a cautious feeling about him this weekend, and I have no idea where it's coming from. James, put it right for me.
Oh, he'll win with his head in his chest. He'll just take it up early and he'll bomb on and he'll win. Regardless of the champion chase, the only way he'll beat El Fabiolo if he goes out in front and takes it up, as I keep repeating, at the water. He is a better jockey on him this year. But the thing is, Willie Munnins is going to put Gentleman to me and Dysart Dynamo probably in the race to upset John Bon. The faster they go, I know El Fabiolo makes mistakes, but Fabiola needs pace, and that's what will probably ruin John Bon's chance of a champion chase. But it all depends on race riding on the day, but he'll absolutely bolt up him.
Do you think he'll run again before Cheltenham as well? Maybe like at Warwick or something, or go here straight to Cheltenham?
Straight to Cheltenham.
Yeah, fair enough.
The match with El Fabiola that everyone wants to see.
Lovely stuff, lovely. Scotty?
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think it's going to be something that John Bon hasn't experienced before, which people probably won't take into account as much as it's that fact that he's raced on the old course 3 times, in the Supreme, in the Arkle, and in the Schloer. And he ran 3 cracking races, obviously, in those races. But the new course, I think, will suit him a lot better. I think it's just the way he strides out. I think he did it at Warwick, kind of. When I know he didn't win well at Warwick, but I think he was still a bit green, a bit novice-y back then. And I just think that kind of long run, and it will really help him. And if he follows Editor Degit around, it will really, really give him something to aim at. And I think coming at the top of the hill, he'll take it up and he'll really put on a show and win well. And like Jay said, it's a penalty kick. And I think Editor Degit has got better as the season's gone. I think he'll finish 3rd in the champion chase. And I think John Bon and El Fabiolo will have the matchup we're all looking forward to if El Fab does the business at the DRF.
He's not going to be finishing 3rd at Cheltenham. That's Captain Guinness's spot, that is, though.
Don't know.
What do you reckon then, Kieran?
It should be Dino Blue, because Dino Blue won't win the Mirror State.
Yeah,
she could have a chance of winning the champion chase.
She's not going to win.
Given £7, she has the right chance of the champion chase.
I think they planned on sending ADV there as well, Allegory de Vati as well, but because she's more of a 2 miler, isn't she? But she's not going to win anything, like. No, all right. Well, we'll save that for next time. We'll do something next week, and we'll get back to the Cheltenham Festival. Kieran, what do you think about the Clarence House?
John Bon just wins head and chest easy. There's not talk beat around the bush. Let's not try and get him beat.
Cool.
He's going to win, isn't he?
Fine. Cool.
Keep it short and sweet.
We will leave it at that then. All right. Well, we'll move swiftly on to the 3 o'clock then. We've got the Unibet International Hurdle, the Grade 2. Some nice horses in the lineup. We've even got Lossie and Garlamar, so obviously they're not going to turn up here. Same as in Perry Pass at the same time. But we'll let Scotty go first, because one of your favourites is in this race, carrying a top weight if he runs, which I think he's due to.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to run. I still got my reservations of whether he'll run, but he's not got an entry in the champion hurdle, which tells me that Paul Nicholls is coming here for some prize money and probably just going to test his mettle, knowing that the Irish aren't going to turn up. So if he does take his chance, he's probably going to go off favourite. Love Envoy, I was disappointed with her at Sandown. I know she finished 2nd, staying on to Not So Sleepy. And the ground was perfect for her. She goes better on heavy ground, softer heavy ground. So I was disappointed with her, and I just wouldn't be going near her in this race. I'd like to see her run. And loads of people are talking about her for the Mayor's Hurdle. I know she came 2nd to Honeysuckle last year, but the field is so much more deeper this year, the Mayor's Hurdle. She's got no chance of beating the top 3 Irish, Lossie Mouth, Ashray Diamond, Garlamar, so absolutely no chance. And looking at the field, like you say, Impere Pass, Lossie Mouth, Garlamar, so are not going to run. Burdett Road's not going to run. Under Control's got entries elsewhere, so is she going to turn up? I'm looking at one now. It's a big price, and he's also got a double entry at Doncaster on the same weekend, which I think he'll probably run at. But if he does run, Spirit down here at 25-1 is a big price each way. I'd be taking a little bit of that, but it's not non-runner no bet, obviously, anti-post in this market, so you probably lose your cash. But if he turned up, he's fourth to Blue King Daru in the 4-year-old hurdle at the start of the season. That form's worked out pretty well. Blue King Daru won the Coral Hurdle, and he ran a cracker. He didn't even win, but he ran a cracker for a 4-year-old in that Grade 1, that Crambo one at Ascot. And he ran an absolute blinder at Sandown in heavy ground. I think he's a ground versatile horse. And Gary Moore, Niall Houlihan's dropped up to go. So, I mean, 25 could be a big price come Saturday. And if he was in the race and there's only 3 or 4 runners, you're probably going to get win only, obviously, with only 4. But if 5, 6 turn up, you're looking at a good ticket on 25s. And I'd be chancing him at the prices.
Yeah, supremely strong traveller as well. He was really impressive at Sandown last time out, Scotty. That's a really nice angle. I like that. Tempting me in a little bit there too. Kieran, what about you? Who do you think wins the international?
Like I said, the entries are very deceiving, wouldn't they? To be honest, I saw my boy in there, and I thought, oh, here we go. He's going to come over here rather than taking on Stakeman next week. But he's definitely going to take on Stakeman next week in the Irish champion. Now, there's no question about that. People got excited about that. Lossie Mag won't come here. Even if she does come here, I think she'd get beat anyway. I'm going to go against what Scotty said, and I think Love Envoy's going to win this. She's getting all the weight down the bottom. Everything's, I know it depends who comes. Rubo comes out and all the weights will change, but I think it's only Under Control that's going to carry less weight, if I remember rightly. Obviously, Burdett Road is in there, but he's not going to run here. He's going to run in first. So I will forgive the indifferent run she had at Sandown behind Note So Sleepy. That race, which, wow, less said about that race, the better, I think. But yeah, I'm going to give her another squeak. I know she finished second to Honeysuckle last year. All right, the form's maybe not as good, and it was Honeysuckle's swan song and everything else like that. But she's got the Cheltenham form. I'm going to stick with her, I believe, and go with that.
Yeah, I love that, Kieran, too. Definitely willing to forgive her last run. And what I liked about the run as well, even though everyone was saying it was disappointing how she travelled and how she jumped early on, we've seen her do better than that. So we know she's capable of more. And she still managed to find some decent ground late on in the race as well. So even though she didn't look as flashy as like she usually does, she still had the gears at the end of the race. She still wasn't too far away after doing everything wrong in the race. So I think she got a great shout. I'm definitely starting to get tempted in though there by Scotty's Spirit Danu, because the more you look at that, it's definitely going to be cutting up, isn't it? I'm seriously considering having a punt on that. Just before I go on to Jamie, do you reckon Rubo could end up in the bet for a hurdle next month instead, Scotty? Was it too high in the weights for that, really?
My concern with Rubo is he's going left-handed.
Okay.
I think he's more effective going right-handed, and I think Newbury could be the ending of a good horse. I still think he'd probably run here on the weekend, and I don't think you'll see him until Punchestown. I honestly believe that's the big aim they've got with him, trying to nick some prize money there.
Okay, cool, fair enough. And James, how do you see this one turning out as well?
Well, according to the bet now, Joe, according to the bet now, Lassie Mount will run. Like, it's 5-4 favourite now, and if she runs, she just wins, doesn't she?
Oh yeah, of course she does. I just can't see her. I can't see her.
I think she'll come over because maybe they're thinking she might run to the champion hurdle and absolutely destroy a load of people's bets in the mare's hurdle.
Can you imagine?
That could happen. I'm kind of with Kieran because I like Love Envoy. I think like is a course and distance winner, one of the mare's novice over course and distance, especially if Lassie Mount doesn't turn up. I mean, like, it's actually getting weight from Lassie Mount and it's rated 4 pound higher, so 6 pounds really better off.
I can't believe it when I saw it.
Yeah, I can't believe it myself. So it definitely has a chance here, and obviously to the mare's hurdle. And I understand what Scott is saying about the 3 Irish mares, but you have to remember 2 of them. They're still 5-year-olds coming into open company, regardless if it's mares or open company, if you know what I mean. I think if Lassie Mount comes over, it probably will win. But you know, at the moment, if it doesn't, I would be with Love Envoy here definitely. And Perry Pass obviously he's not going to come. He's going to come over against State Man. I'll drop a bomb there now, and I'm back in Perry Pass to beat State Man this time with Leopardstown.
Thank you, Jay.
The thing you've got to look at with the mares, like Apple's Jade won the mares hurdle as a 5-year-old, so it's possible. I don't think mares have to progress as much against their own sex, do they? And you have to
Well-
look at the campaigning of Willie's horses and mares down the years. He's got 3 good ones this year. I mean, Quavega, she obviously she was so fragile, she went straight to the festival every year. You've got the 3 races that they potentially could run in if they're all going to have a run. Ashro's going to go to Doncaster. Gala Marceau potentially could go to the Quavega hurdle at Punchestown before the festival. So Lossie Mouth has got no other option apart from running in the Irish Champion hurdle all here. So she could rock up here still. You're right. She could.
Rocket. The only thing I will say, though, Scott, the year that Apple's Shade won, it actually ran races throughout the year and improved throughout the year. He tried to do it with Limini after the Mayor's Novice, and it didn't work. Now, I did back Limini that day. Vroom Mag was second, and I backed Limini. I bought into it, and then we ran then, and that's what I'm worried about. So I think he will send. I don't think he's not exactly what you're saying. He's no choice between Lassie Mount over here. Where is she going to run?
Actually,
Because I think Garda Marceau then will probably run in the race. Brandy Love won last year, or was it
The Quavega hurdle, Punchestown.
Yeah, Punchestown. So it's either or. So I think Lassie Mount will run here, and I think she rocks up here. She probably will win, but I'm more towards the form of Honeysuckle, the second Honeysuckle one, the Love Envoy. Sorry. The horse that interests me here along to bigger target is that I don't know why they're running Under Control here after Marco 137, because I think Under Control is on my radar for one of the big handicaps of the Cheltenham Festival. Now, the only thing is, I would prefer over further in the Cardiff Cup. I think she'd be suited more to the old track because she bombed out last year in the Mayor's Novice in the new track. But I think it's very interesting because I thought she was going to run in the Betfair Hurdle. I was all over her for the Betfair Hurdle off 137, the way she ran against Hansard last time. And she ran and she travelled so well, and she looked like she was going to win the race, and she just stopped. I don't know what happened. Henderson's horses were a bit all over the place at the time. She's one I'm going to keep an eye out in here. Would she win? No. She might win, and that would absolutely ruin my thing for a handicap. But she's very interesting here, because of the form of the Iberico Lord. Beating her at Sandown last year, and Iberico Lord's won Greatwood, finished close up at third in the Ascot, or behind the Chia, the handicap there, the old Labro. But it's a catch-22 really. If Lassie Mount runs, I'd probably think Lassie Mount runs, but if it doesn't, I think Love Envoy will win easy.
she ain't coming over here, lads. Like, I don't see why they'd send her over here. Like.
It's just the switch from Imperial Pass went odds on. Now it's gone up to 7-2. Now they're hammering Lassie Mount.
They could run her in the Irish Champion, but then of course Townend won't be on board. Is that why they wouldn't run her against the
yeah, and there's not really much here in Ireland the weekend. So, well, no, the only thing is the Sol Arena is on Saturday, and who want to be on JD Grugy in the Sol Arena? So, do you know what I mean? I suppose that's the other angle. She probably won't come, but like they're hammering her here now, so it looks like she's going to come.
Healthy problems to have, though, isn't it? Like for the right stables.
Very healthy.
All right, cool. Let's move on. We've got 2 to go. The 335, the Cleve Hurdle, Grade 2, 3 miles, again on good to soft ground. A lot of the familiar faces in this lineup. We've got Dashel Drasher, Paisley Park, Champ, Marie's Rock, West Balboa. Botox has maybe the slight improver, and then pretty much any price you like for the rest. Lads, I hate this race. I don't like picking out of Paisley Park, Dashel Drasher, Champ. A little bit bored of it now, to be honest. Love them as horses. As far as the betting spectacle goes, this is naff as you like. This is Scotty. Find us a winner in the Cleve Hurdle, please.
It's like the retirement home, isn't it? Really,
Yeah,
this race.
It's terrible. Like
there's so many fans of these horses out there, so I'd never ever slate them. They've been absolutely brilliant servants. I've been a massive fan of Paisley Park. Champ has had my heart many times. Dashel Drash has had my heart when he won the Ascot Chase. I always loved him since then. Murray's Rock, probably broken up with her more times than my ex-girlfriends all combined. I would never ever back her again, especially over 3 miles. She doesn't stay. I'm convinced she doesn't stay. I know she got close to Cider Burley at Aintree, but all the horses were dead on their feet after Cheltenham on that race. I'm not buying into that one bit. Strong leader, giving him more chances than Man United this year. He's got no chance in the race. West Balboa was found out at Ascot. She's not good enough. Noble Yates was beaten in the handicap hurdle last time, and then you're going down to 2 roughies. So what choice have you got apart from coupling Paisley Park and Dashel Drasher in your wins and your forecasts? Take your pick. I think Dashel Drasher will run his race. He always does. And Paisley Park loves the course. He's won a Stayers Hurdle. He's been placed in Stayers Hurdles. I would go with Paisley Park just for the fact that I think he's still showing sparks of life in him. And I never thought I'd say that at the start of the season. It just goes to show how bad, especially in this country, the division of the 3 mile staying hurdlers is. It's absolutely terrible. And I've got nothing else to say. Everybody knows exactly what these horses do. Just because of how well he's ran this year, Paisley Park has to be a play, and that's all I can say.
Yeah, fair enough. So he ran twice really well now. The long distance and the long walk, isn't it? The two.
Yeah, he got done in the long distance where the race he arguably should have won, and Crambo, that race at Ascot was fantastic. And whether Crambo's form there is good enough to win a stairs hurdle after Paisley getting so close, time will tell. He's still improving, but Paisley Park still got it, and why not back him again?
Yeah, definitely. I was there Gallup morning at Newbury that day as well. Derek O'Connor was actually sat on Paisley, and he said he'd never felt as good. He really had his old spark back, and it has showed in his last two. So if he's still fresh enough, he could definitely run a big race. James.
I echo really what Scott says. Really, it's not really a betting race.
No.
Like the form of Crambo and Dashel Drescher at the long distance at Long Walk Hurl, isn't it, at Ascot, might hold up. Do you know what I mean? Dashel Drescher obviously the second in the stairs hurdle last year. I wouldn't back any of them with a cash. Champ. I don't think I've backed Champ since the RSA when he won. He broke my heart plenty of times. I don't think Cheltenham is his bag really. It proves there last year when he was odds on, wasn't he? When Paisley Park was left behind at the start and still beat him. That'll tell you all about Champ. Marie's Rock needs massive pace in this race to have any chance of getting home. But is she a busted flush now this year? Probably is. Never really is trained on really mare since the Mares hurdle so impressively that year. If she got it rattling fast pace, which she probably won't. If she did get pace, I maybe would back, but like that's be in running play for me. She's not another horse not to be just don't like both tops has it going day one day. You just don't know with him. And to be honest with you, I don't know why I'm saying this, but as I said, and I repeated myself afterwards, like to know the last about Skeleton's horses weren't running well.
Don't do it, Jay.
Probably not good enough, but is it that bad that they're coming into form that she actually has a chance? Because they do think a lot of her. She's getting the weight along. I know she's weighed 143. She needs probably improve about 2 stone and a half even to win this race, but like they're that bad and coming down on her for some reason. I don't know why, but maybe, as I said, they're under a cloud that time. They weren't running to their potential. She might have a chance in this, but I'd be probably backing anything. Probably not, but at the moment, I'm probably more with the two mares than I am with the so-called proven horses.
Her form to Jamie is terrible. The race she won up at Aintree, where she beat Bruin Upper Storm and Miller's Bank, they've been lapped in races. Even Marie's Rock finished ahead of Bruin Upper Storm. It's got no chance.
Well, it's one of those races.
In the words of you, what you say to me, you're talking shite, boy.
Well, I might be
say that.
I might be having a bet in it, but if you want me in selection, yeah, I'll go with West Balboa.
It is tough though, isn't it? Like, you can't really knock anyone's selection in the race because it's a bit wild. I'm probably going to leave the race alone, to be honest. Kieran, what do you think?
We've had what we had, retirement home and God knows what else. I've actually got my bit of paper. We've had veterans chases. We've now got a veteran hurdle. So I've got my paper here.
Yeah, that's it.
So Scott has just alluded to Marie's Rock beating Bruin Up a Storm. I'm actually going to take the one that finished fourth. I'm going to take a swipe on Strong Leader 3 miles. Just because, what is he, 7, is he? Against all these old age
pensioners.
Pensioners, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, wow. First time at 3 miles. Why not? Give it a go. I don't know what 12s, 14s you get in, is it?
14s.
Something like that.
Gavin Sheehan's winning all the big races as well.
Gavin Sheehan's winning all the big races, yeah. There's your mate Gavin again.
Yeah, why not? Why not? In a race where there's no.
Yeah, I did nearly put up West Balboa. I was so close, but I thought no, can't do it.
As soon as I said that, you changed your mind, didn't you?
No.
Cool.
I was always putting Strong Leader, but West Balboa was close.
I mean, Strong Leader is probably more the sort of horse I'd be looking at punting here if I had a bet simply on sort of a bit of value hunting, really.
Well, he can improve for 3 miles, maybe.
Exactly, that's the thing. There's still time on his side as well. Why not?
That's
Right, okay,
really-
then we'll finish with the finale, the 410, the Super Alloys Novice Hurdle Grade 2, over 2.5 miles here. Again, not too many dropped up, so not sure who's going to turn up in the race. But we do know that Gidley Park is the even money favourite here. Of course, he's got quite a big engine on him, looks a really nice horse to go forward with. You've got Lookaway in here at 100 to 30, Django Bay at 4s. Again, is he going to turn up? Jinko Blue at 8 to 1. It's an interesting race, this one, lads. Again, not too much of a say on it with Gidley Park being in the race. Johnny Hughes in their mind as well. I suppose he makes it a little bit more interesting. James, who do you like in the finale?
Very interesting race, Joe. If they all turn up, maybe one or two, obviously, bar Gidley Park will. I was very shocked, really, that look away for the second in the Chello and finisher above Johnny Who. But it has to give away the £5 penalty now for that. And Johnny Who is a massive price at 6 to 1, I will say. But I'm a bit disappointed in him in the Chello, to be honest. Maybe he didn't like the ground, but he did win at soft ground up a hill in Carlisle at the start of the season. So he just, I don't know. I really fancied him for the Chello that day, and he just didn't do. But he's 6 to 1 each way here. Probably decent each way, I bet. He's probably going to be in the first three. But then they're saying that he's an Albert Bartlett horse.
Yeah.
The better the ground here will find him out. Maybe he'd be better on better ground. You wouldn't know. But if the English or the British horses want any chance of winning an novice hurdle at Cheltenham, this Gidley Park has to win.
Yeah, sure.
And bring it to the Irish in the Ballymore. I presume it's going Ballymore. And they've sounded out for the Ballymore.
Yeah.
And you really want him to see, and well, like he did impress me on the eye at Newbury. He makes a big fine chase from the meet, but he just powered away. And a lot of kind of shrewdies in the tipping YouTube betting world are tipping this horse for the Ballymore. And I did have a bit of I backed to the 10 to 1 there during the week. I said, you know what? He's even money to win at Cheltenham on Saturday. He could be less than that, so take a stab on that. So I hope he wins, because then it makes a bit of competition in the Bradley-Moore for the British horses, and I'd like to see him win well and be good for the game.
Yeah, it definitely would be. I definitely think he's short-minded even money if they all turn up. Like, he's going to have to be proper
Yeah,
good.
he's going to have to put in a really good performance. I know he's rated, 138? Like, Lookaway is only 137, and Johnny Who's 136, and they're getting £5 from Lookaway. Now, the good thing about he's going to learn a lot, because Lookaway is only has one style of running, and just go out in front and catch me if you can. And it'll be good teaching. Is he going to win by far? Probably not with Lookaway in the race, because he's such a dogged horse, really.
Yeah, sure.
Really well. He surprised me this year, to be honest, with that horse. But I just want Gidley to win and just really show that he's a class horse, and hopefully he is.
I agree. I like the fact that they brought him to Trials Day. They could literally have just sent him to a little runaway race at Warwick or Stratford, Worcester, somewhere like that, and then just got him into the Bally. I love the fact that they're being brave. It shows a bit of proper courage for start. It shows that they obviously have enough faith in the horse as well. So it would be nice to obviously see him go and win. I will actually back Isaac de Zobo here each way. I do think Gidley Park's the winner, but I love this horse going forward. He's going to be one of my horses to follow next year over a fence. I think he's going to be brilliant. So just for that sort of angle, I'll have a look at Isaac de Zobo possibly each way. Will he have the gears to win a race like this? Probably not, but I might have a little bit of a loyalty punt because I love this horse going forward. Kieran, who do you fancy in the final race?
I'm going to echo what James said, and I'm going to say Gidley Park. I just hope he puts in a performance and stamps the British authority on the Ballymore. That gives them some chance in the Ballymore anyway.
Yeah.
Put it up to the Irish boys. He's got the reputation now. Let's see if he can prove the reputation. Is sort of the thing now.
Have you put him up anti-post Gidley Park?
No.
No,
I
sorry.
No. I put many up, but not him.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I wasn't sure if I remember you putting him up.
No, not him. No, unfortunately not, because I think I saw 25s at the start of the season, so I could have had that. But
yeah, definitely.
No, I just missed the boat with that.
See that's the thing again. Why it's good that he comes here. He comes here and he wins. He's got a really good profile. If you go and win a Warwick, like, it just doesn't sit right with me. Like, really do hope that he goes on and wins this one. Okay, Scotty, finish us off in the last race.
Yeah, I was just having a quick look at the entries here. So just give me 1 second, if it's all right. Sorry to keep you waiting. For the Ballymore. Be there in a second. Sorry, boys. He doesn't have an entry. I was going to look at Django Bay. He doesn't have a Ballymore entry, which tells me I was hoping he'd be stepped up and tripped. So it's a bit weird why they'd be running him here. But he's double entered along with Jericho de Repene, who's running at Doncaster, I believe, on the weekend. So Django Bay running here is a bit of a sign that he may be safer entry, where his win came in the Grade 1, which Farrow and Glory would have hacked up in, which was over 2 miles at Christmas. So that's the kind of angle I'm looking at. Django Bay will come here and take on Gidley Park, and they'll send Jericho up to Donny. So obviously no entry for Jericho in the Ballymore. It says it all, doesn't it? But yeah, Gidley Park's the one to beat. He's the one to beat on paper, but even money's a bit short. I wouldn't be scared of taking him on with Django Bay. I always get confused with Jinko Blue and Django Bay, same colours, similar names. So, but yeah, that's the way I'd be looking at it. Is I'd be going for Django Bay. Oh, Kieran's gone. Okay, and yeah, I echo what you said as well about your horse you're going to back. Isaac Deso Bow. I think he's got a little squeak, but I think he's got a bit of improvement to find. But Jamie's horse that he doesn't like, that I like, is Look Away. I think his form's pretty good, and I think he's very underrated with his shallow hurdle. Kieran? Yeah. Shallow hurdle form. It's not the worst piece of form in the world. He's a pretty solid performer, second in the Greatwood, behind the Berrico Lords. That's not the worst piece of form in the world. And the Nemean Lion, who's was second in that race, is running good races, got big entries. So yeah, I think there's a couple of angles to the race. I'd like to see Gidley Park win, but I wouldn't be scared to take him on. And if Django Bay turns up, I think the step up and trip will help, and I'll probably back him to beat Gidley Park.
Interesting. I think the plan with Django Bay is that they go to Supreme anyway. I think that's been pinpointed, but I'm not sure. So
Has he got an entry in the Supreme Django Bay?
Look. Have you seen? Look.
He's not got one in the Ballymore.
Yeah, he does in the Supreme. He's entered. Yeah.
Sorry, I just missed it. Django Bay does have an entry in the Ballymore.
20-1, isn't he, in the Bally?
So he's in the Ballymore. So that's a good sign while they're running here. So I will back him for that then.
He's shorter for the Bally than he is the Supreme as well, which is what you want to see, wouldn't you? Like, if you're
yeah. So no, that fills me with confidence that they're running here instead of Doncaster.
Awesome. Right, nice one, lads. Let's go around and get the best bets for Cheltenham. Starting with Kieran, what's your best bet of the weekend?
Best bet. Let's go. Il Rodotto.
Il Rodotto, love that. Scotty, who's your best bet?
If he runs, Spirit Danu each way would be, but from a certain runner's point of view, I'm actually going to go for Salva to beat Burdett Road and Sergino.
Yeah, all right, love that. Nice brave shout there. James, who's your nap of the Trials Day?
That's Origino on the Cotswold Chase.
Yeah, nice. And mine is going to be Sergino if he turns up for the trial. Okay, cool. So that's the preview done for Trials Day. We are at the hour mark now, so we'll go through some anti-post selections, but we'll keep it quite quick for you. I don't want to keep everyone too long. James, let's start with you. What's your selection for this week?
I'm trying to think of the 4 horses I put up, Joe. Majbara, Allegory, Basti, Crambo. I can't remember the 4th I put up.
You do this every time and we forget, like.
Can't remember the 4th. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put him in the book, and you know the one horse I love. He's an novice hurdle I love. I've said it all year that he'll win the Supreme. He runs in the Supreme. He's still 7-1 with bet 365, which is insane. Get him in the book for the DRF when he wins next Sunday at the DRF. And it's Willie Mullins' horse, won by the Bartlett, and it's Ballyburn. I think he's an absolute good thing.
There you go. What
do
you reckon? What if he wins
Yes.
at 2 miles? Are they going to step him back up again? I wouldn't have
No,
thought.
2 miles for a reason.
Yeah.
Look, the way I look at it, if he wins at the DRF over 2 miles, he's going to run the Supreme. If he loses and he's close up first, second, or third, he runs in the Ballymore. And it doesn't matter where he runs, he's going to win either.
I see him going for the Supreme. I think he'll be Mustard in the Supreme as well, because they'll just be able to let him go.
He just reminds me of a Vautour, Duvan, the not as good as him, like a classical dream. Like they're like, but the only thing you don't have a Ruby Walsh. If he had a Ruby Walsh, oh my God, he'd be way shorter.
Yeah, sure.
But he just reminds me of those type of horses, and I just can't see him being beaten.
Let him go, and he will be hard to beat, won't he? Go on then, Scotty. You didn't like that. What's your selection then?
I do like it. I'll be backing wherever he goes, but I'm hoping it's the Ballymore. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna actually. I've been through a lot of the races, and I'm gonna actually put the first handicap horse up. And it's a horse he ran in the Galway Hurdle. Didn't run really any race, to be honest. Started off his beginner's campaign over chases at Killarney and won. He finished second to Sharjah. He's been running races behind Nappers Hill at Wincanton. And he finished behind the horse that beat Blood Destiny the other day. I think it's the JP horse, the name escapes me, begins with an S.
Spillan's Tower.
That's the one. And recently bought by Mr. Paul Byrne, just changed trainers 7 days ago. Captain Combi for Emmett Mullins for the Grand Annual.
Wow.
And he has an entry at the Dublin Racing Festival, and Jaime Wrenn absolutely nailed it. 134 is a mark he's on, which Jamie said is not big enough to get into the Grand Annual last year. You need to be off 139. So if he goes to the Dublin Racing Festival, finishes in a good position, I don't know if he wins, how much his mark plus English tax will go up, but he is one that I'm really keen on, and I think this is an absolute good thing to be in the Grand Annual.
What price is he? Is he
16s? 16s. He's a general 16s.
The only thing I will say, Scott, with the 134, that he'll get British tax, so he'll get in.
Well, I looked at it before, and I thought with British tax, he'll get probably £4, which just puts him a pound below. If he finishes in the first 4 or 5, running one, staying on, he'll get a couple of pounds. He'll get in about 140, I reckon. He'll get into the Grand Annual.
He's actually the 2 horses I fancy for the race. Captain Combi, I saw it, and there's another horse with Gavin Cromwell, Pack to Rue. It's between the two of them, I think, and yeah, I think I wouldn't exactly what you're saying. I wouldn't mind if Captain Combi finished second to Pack to Rue, because Pack to Rue is no chance at Cheltenham. But the way he ran there last day against Folks TR when he got hit it, and then he finished second there to creeping behind Hunter's Yarn. It's either or for me in that race, and I'm probably blowing what we're going to say next week for the TRF. But it's between the two of them. Totally, you've nailed it.
First one on the handicaps and 16-1 Captain Combi, like Grand Annual, you said, Scott, as well. Sorry.
Yes, Grand Annual, yeah.
Love it. And Kieran, who you got for us? You got quite a nice book this year. You've got Irish Point for the Stayers at a big price as well. Who'd you like for this week?
I've gone to the Ballymore, and Willie Mullins, but not one you might think of. I tried to play a bit of Mullins bingo. I've gone for Wadon de Bourbon, I believe is how you pronounce it.
He the Bourbon.
Fondine de Bourbon, that's the bad boy. That's the one. 20-1 he is for the Ballymore, but his only entry is for the Ballymore, whereas you've got Ballyburn, Mystical Power, they're all dotted around here, there, and everywhere. He's won 2 maiden hurdles, but the 2 maiden hurdles he's won last year were won by Imperi Pass and Gaelic Warrior. Willie Mullins is obviously, every trainer has their type and they go here, there, and everywhere with same different horses, same races. I'm not saying he's going to be the same as these two, but I was impressed with him last time out at Limerick. Well, he won very well. I think it was Limerick. And he won.
Price is he, Kieran?
Huh?
What price is he?
20-1.
20-1.
20-1. Sorry.
25 is here in Betfair as well, mate. You get 5 more in Betfair.
All right, 25. We'll go 25 then, shall we?
Don't rob yourself.
But yeah, I thought I was well impressed, and I think he could be like the rest of them are going. You could go Supreme, you could go to Ballymore. If he's coming over, he's definitely going into Ballymore. So, and if he comes over, he's not going to be 25-1. He might be third string, but he still won't be 25-1. It's got a bit of Champ Kylie vibes about it, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go down that road. Juan de Bourbon for the Ballymore, 20-1.
25-1, Kieran. You got the extra 5. Scott, you found you some value. All right, nice one. Well, my edition this week, lads, is coming in the RSA, and it's at 16-1 at the moment. It is a horse called Monty Star. And Scotty loves this lad. I think he's a brilliant horse. And he's, like Kieran said about his selection, he's just got the one target now. He has been pinpointed to come to the RSA, and rightly so as well. He's a proper nice big steeple chaser, a fine sort. And he's probably one that, again, will improve for the step up and trip a little bit more. I was really impressed with him last time out when he beat, who did he beat? 3-card Bragg at Punchestown by about 5 lengths. But there was a little bit more in that form that I liked. He was put under pressure a few times, found plenty, sat back on the bridle, still jumped pretty good as well. And just looks like he's a horse that's going to come on nicely. I don't go backing anti-post selections each way, but if you did want one, he is a really solid each way selection because he's not going to be far away. And there is a possibility, looking back at this race, I did put it up on my Twitter, that in 2020, the winners were Champ beating Manila Indo, beating Alaho. So you had JP, Barry Maloney, and Shively Park, 1, 2, 3. This year, if we have Factor File win it, Monty Star comes second, and Grange Clare West come third. You've got exactly the same colours, exactly the same order. Who knows? Stranger things do happen. But I think he's a really good horse, this Monty Star. He looks like a Gold Cup horse for next season as well. Manila Indo vibes in those sort of colours, improving with each run, improving with the trip, jumping better as it goes on. He just ticks all the boxes at this point, and he's not going to be 16-1 on the day. He's going to be third or fourth favourite behind Grange Clare West, possibly Factor File, Stay Away Fair, etc. too. So Monty Star at 16-1 will do for me as well. So there's the 4 selections then, lads. And that wraps us up for today. Thanks everyone again for tuning in. Please don't forget to go and follow Jaime, Kieran, and Scotty over on Twitter. I will put their links below. You do obviously want to follow. You get some really good content from these lads, and they put a lot of time into it as well. And of course, then if you are able to, please do subscribe to the channel as well. But we're really excited. It's not far from the Cheltenham Trials Day. We've got DRF obviously coming up soon, and we're going to bring out another preview for you next week. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you all real soon. Bye for now.